Hello everyone, let's play Tiny Hands Adventure, which to me seems to be a game clearly inspired by Crash Bandicoot. I've already completed the game, so we're just going to go through the game and play some of my favorite levels from it, from all the worlds, starting with World 1. Right. So, how this game works is it's a 3D platformer, and we play a T-Rex with a variety of gadgets to extend his reach in different ways. You unlock the gadgets as you play through the game, and you use them to collect things and get past hazards. For example, we're going to equip the grabber, a toy grabber, and grab this crystal over here that we couldn't get otherwise without dying. And all of the unique arm attachments, or gadgets or whatever, have their own attacks, which I also think is interesting. You know, because the attacks have different hitboxes and varying degrees of usefulness. I prefer the mechanical arms attack, personally. Also, yeah, this is really fucking trippy and weird. Just try and stay with me. There are crates to smash, you have a single jump, you have a slide. The enemies are... well, you can defeat them by just hit... oh, we need our drill attachment. The enemies you can defeat by jumping on them sometimes, but usually you want to use your basic attacks, which, as was already discussed, vary depending on which gadgets you have equipped. There are a few other levels themed like this weird alien staircase level, but none of them are as good as this one. This one's just better than the others that are later in the game. There's a checkpoint crate. But yeah, you collect gems. This gem, the red one we just got, is mandatory. You need 4 of them in a world to fight the boss. The other non-red gems are not mandatory. If you collect all of those, then you unlock a harder version of the level you found them in. And a harder version of the level just means a level with more enemies and no checkpoints. It's not really all that harder, is what I'm saying. So how's the platforming? I mean, it's fine. I've read a lot of reviews about this game. Most of the critics seem to say the jump is unresponsive or just doesn't work sometimes. Having beaten the game and going back to get collectibles in levels where I missed them, I think the jump is perfectly responsive. Like, I've already beaten the game. And the jump hasn't failed once yet. I also think the hit detection is fine, which was also a common complaint amongst reviewers. So I don't know what they're talking about. And you could say maybe this game got a patch, but I didn't notice one when I installed it. Cool, we unlocked the hard version of that level. Right, let's go to World 2. This game does have bosses, if you're curious. We're not going to be seeing any of the bosses in this video because I don't really like them. They're not awful, they're pattern-based, but they're not interesting to me. Oh, the 2 towers, I really like this level. I really like this level. So, about the overarching design of the game, which is the thing I usually really like to discuss. Oh, there's a hidden life right here. This game doesn't have much overarching design, honestly. The enemies are kind of a non-threat most of the time, and when they are a threat, you can just walk around whatever projectiles they shoot because you're in 3D. And the platforming, at its most challenging, boils down to really small platforms placed precariously over bottomless pits, but the controls are good enough that even though you may have to go a little slow, you're never going to have issues with any of the precarious platforming. It's not really a challenging game. Hold on, there's a gem down there that we need our grabby arm to reach, because our head's too big. There we go. So the platforming and enemy placement, it's nothing to write home about. The platforming is certainly better because it provides more challenge. The enemies don't provide any degree of challenge, but the platforming also is nothing spectacular. It's better for being precarious than not, you know. I'd rather it be precarious and challenging because that's a degree of entertainment. That was my bad. Than something like Angel in Danger where it's just too easy. This game isn't too easy, but the platforming still isn't exceptional. The best parts of the game platforming-wise would probably be that alien staircase we were just climbing with the boulders falling down it. And I can't really think of anything else that really stands out. Not that the platforming is bad. I just want you to understand there isn't a lot more than this is a small platform across a big gap. That's most of the platforming. Let me grab our grabby arm again. The music in this game is very odd. Does not fit well with what's going on in the game. But it is stock music, so I assume they just chose what they thought sounded nice. Oh yeah, there's more to the design. The collectibles. Most of the time, the collectibles are as simple as, I see a gem, which gadget do I need to reach it, and then using that gadget. Now, some of the gems you have to backtrack for because you don't have the appropriate gadget yet, but after you do backtrack, it's easy enough to find it. Like, all these gems floating over bottomless pits, we just need our grabber for example. And all this meat we're picking up, that's just coins. You get 100 of those meats, you get an extra life. I think this level looks nice. Not as trippy as the alien staircase level, but I think it looks nice. Alright, that's the level for World 2. Unlock the hard variation by collecting everything. Let's get on to World 3, why don't we? You may have noticed that the main character looks kind of ugly. I thought so too. Maybe that's just my personal take on the situation, but my roommate also thinks the main character looks really hideous. I really want to go to Sky City, but we need to go to the Sisyphus we need to go to the trial, because there are a couple things we need to see here. We're going to play the hard mode of this level, because we already unlocked it before. Before this video, you weren't here when I unlocked it. But there are a couple things you need to see in this level. One of them you will see very shortly, and another you'll have to wait a bit for. By the way, level variety, huge benefit to this game. Lots of level variety. Lots of really strange locations. Oh, yep, here's the first thing you need to see. This giant gorilla hand gently fondling that pathway, and if it touches you, you die. What the fuck even is that? Why is there a giant gorilla hand fondling that pathway like that pathway is its lover? You see that, right? What the hell is going on here? There's nothing in the story to make sense of that either. It's just about a dinosaur that wants a longer reach. Oh, here's a box that gives us a shield so we can take more than one hit. But yeah, that's the main reason that I chose this level, is because look at that fucking gorilla hand back there. There's another one before the level ends. What a weird thing to do. Bizarre hazard. Even though this game's design isn't remarkable, I think calling it weird is fair, because you saw that alien staircase and that gorilla hand. So I think it's fair to call this game weird, even though it's not remarkable. There went that projectile shooting enemy. Oh yeah, this gate right here with the big 3 switches in front of it. Someone got stuck here. They thought this was like an impassable barrier. I don't know if they just never tried jumping on the switches or what. I had to correct them. I wasn't polite about it, I was sarcastic, but that's just kind of how I do things. Just be cheeky about it. Because they left a negative review, you know? And they thought the game was uncompletable because they never thought to step on those switches. I kind of ignore the meat, mostly, unless it's directly in my path now. Because you get so many extra lives from doing other things. You know, recording commentary for this right now, I think it's fair to say that, that this was the right choice. Trying to do a full Let's Play of this would have been a bad idea, because there just is not enough going on in the design to talk about. And I don't want to describe the stuff that's so obvious that anyone would get it. I don't want to describe that stuff. If you're wondering what happens when you complete all of the hard versions of every level, you unlock a bonus level. I don't know what the bonus level is yet. Alright, on to World 4. Did I beat this all in one day? Yes. Did I beat it all in one sitting? Almost. I stopped a couple of times. Alright, Future in the Night hard mode. Let's go. This is just a version of the level Sky City from the last world, but at night. And it's not a great level, but I really love the level variety in this game. There's just so much environmental variety in this game. Yeah, it's short, but that's what makes the environmental variety even more surprising. Behind these TNT crates, there's a couple of couple of non-TNT crates, but they don't got anything in them. We can drill here, but instead of an important collectible on hard mode, it's always joke collectibles like meat, or sometimes an enemy pops out. So for the hard mode of this level, they added more TNT crates and enemies, and that's about it. If you're wondering what these various locations have to do with the story, they really don't. The story is we want longer arms, so we asked a fairy for longer arms, and the fairy said, okay, but complete my challenges. Oh, well, if we're gonna explode, we might as well explode all the way. The fairy said, complete my challenges, and you'll get gadgets that make your arms longer. And that's what these levels are. So there's no real explanation for what's going on here, why we're in this futuristic city with alien language, or the alien staircase from the first world. None of that really, or the gorilla hands, none of that has an explanation. So if you're looking for one, there isn't one. It's very strange game. Enemy types, also a little odd. Some of them are normal, like turtles and bees. Some of them look like Metagross. There's a face hugger. Oh, I forgot to mention we can slide under obstacles. It only comes up when you specifically need to use it for something, like sliding under lasers. Yeah, there's just not a lot to this game. It's weird, and maybe the weirdness will appeal to you. I don't even think it's intentionally weird so much as... I mean, you know, maybe they thought that giant gorilla hand was normal. But anyway, this game, platforming is fine, controls are okay, nothing remarkable about the platforming design, not even a little bit. Lots of environmental variety, that's a big plus in my book. Collectibles, really easy to find, not hidden anywhere creative. Variety in gadgets, just kind of like a Lego situation where you walk up to something and press the designated button to use it. Not a great deal of creativity there either. Bosses, very pattern focused, normal platforming bosses. I think that's about it for this game. I'm not going to show you all of the game or all of the next level we're going to walk into. But yeah, good environmental variety, good controls. Main character is ugly. You pick whatever you want to pick. You take away what you want to take away from this game. All right. I finished it. I told you my thoughts. You make your own minds up. You decide. Oh, and real quick before I forget, thank you, A Pompous. How do you pronounce A-Pom, but with Pompous mixed in? Thank you, A Pompous, for being the very first Patreon supporter with $3, which is actually a lot of money for me. Thank you very much.